You know, you're in the ring with a dude that is just walking to you, and he's stalking you, and you can't hurt him. They know it. There's nothing that you can do. I want you to imagine yourself in any kind of fight where somebody is literally walking you down, just walking to you. And no matter how many punches you throw at them, you can hit them with a jab, you can hit them with a hook, you can hit them with a haymaker. It doesn't matter. They're just looking at you, and they keep coming.
So Stephen A. Smith just delivered one of the most brutal takedowns of the Lakers championship hopes I've heard all season, using a boxing analogy that perfectly captures their helplessness against Oklahoma City. This isn't just trash talk. This is surgical analysis. Let's break down why he's absolutely right.
That was the Oklahoma City Thunder last night. They were just walking the Lakers down, no matter what the Lakers did. At no time did you ever doubt what the outcome would be, because they just didn't have the personnel.
The Thunder beat the Lakers 108-90 in Game 1, and that 18-point margin actually undersells their dominance. Oklahoma City outscored LA by 27 points per game across their 5 regular season meetings. When you're getting walked down like this consistently, it's not variance, it's a talent gap.
Remember when Larry Holmes fought Tex Cobb? This is a guy, Tex Cobb. Larry Holmes was a knockout artist with that right hand, Wendy and Shay. Larry Holmes hit this man with everything, and the man laughed at him and kept coming, to the point that even though the fight was stopped, Larry Holmes was so damn frustrated because no matter what he did, the man just smiled at him like the punches was getting hit by paper. That's what I'm talking about with the Oklahoma City Thunder when it comes to the Lakers.
The Holmes-Cobb fight from 1982 is boxing folklore. Howard Cosell famously said he'd never call another fight after watching Cobb absorb that punishment while smiling. That's exactly what's happening here. The Thunder are absorbing everything the Lakers throw and just keep coming forward unfazed.
They are unfazed. They've won by an average of 27 points or so. In the 5 games they beat them this year, all 5 matches, they are not worried about the Lakers in the slightest. This is what we saw last night, and that was with their C game. Wait until it gets up to a B, and God help the Lakers if it's ever an A.
Those numbers are staggering, but they tell the real story. The Thunder's average age is 24, while the Lakers' core is pushing 40. This isn't just about this series. Oklahoma City gets better every month, while LA's championship window is mathematically closing. The trajectory couldn't be more opposite.
Me personally, I would say yes. I mean, I don't think it will. And let me preface this by saying this. This man has earned the right to do whatever he wants to do. In other words, what I mean by that, guys, is this. If you want to make a lifestyle decision as opposed to just a basketball decision, there's nobody in sports that deserves to make that decision more than LeBron James. So let's understand that. In a Tinseltown, Lake Erie, you figure it out where I think he should be. I mean, please, there's nothing to discuss. Absolutely positive, nothing to discuss. But here's where it gets interesting. If you're going to stick around, let's just say another year or two, let's just say that his goal is to play 25. Let's just say his goal is to play a quarter century, which we can't put past him. He might have that kind of vision in his head.
This distinction between lifestyle and basketball decisions is crucial. LeBron's earned the right to prioritize family, business ventures, and personal happiness. But if championship number 5 is still the goal, staying in LA makes zero basketball sense given the Western Conference competition he just outlined.
I mean, to me, when I think about a guy like a Donovan Mitchell, a guy like a James Harden in Cleveland, with a Jarrett Allen and what we saw him do in Game 7 against Orlando, with an Eric Mobley and what we know he can do, with a coach like Kenny Atkinson who can coach. Let's get that out the way. Dougie's raved about him from his time in Brooklyn, okay, before he was an assistant coach or after he was assistant coach on the bench with Steve Kerr. The point is this. If you are LeBron James and you want to be beloved, that's a given, because even though he's respected and loved here in L.A., there's Kobe, there's Shaq, there's people like that. There's different levels to this. That's LeBron in Cleveland. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, he's deified there.
Cleveland's transformation under Kenny Atkinson has been remarkable. They're 31-12 since the coaching change. More importantly, LeBron is Cleveland basketball royalty in a way he'll never achieve in Lakers purple and gold. Kobe's retired jersey hangs right there, casting a permanent shadow over anyone else's legacy.
You cannot look at the Lakers and view them as a team that can win a championship without the assets available, the draft capital, etc. You cannot look at the Lakers with Oklahoma City there, with San Antonio coming, okay? You know, Denver can never leave. It's Minnesota, of course not, all right? You got to believe that Houston's going to be better because they're going to have a point guard next year. You cannot look at the Los Angeles Lakers and legitimately say they're in that championship equation. How do we know this? Because we're here on national TV saying that about them, and they're in the Western Conference semifinals. Because we all know how it's going to end.
The brutal math here is undeniable. Denver just won a championship. San Antonio has Wembanyama entering his prime. Houston added multiple impact players, and Minnesota showed they can challenge anyone. The Lakers are trending downward while every other contender is ascending. The competitive gap is widening.
It's just a matter of days. Look at the schedule and then go to Game 5. Use that as a date, okay? And just say that's the end date for this season for the Los Angeles Lakers. We here in L.A. and we saying it. We here, they right across the street. We saying it right now. Everybody and their grandmama knows this. In Cleveland in the Eastern Conference, that would not be the case. It would be an entirely different stratosphere if he was in Cleveland playing for the Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference.
The Eastern Conference path is significantly easier. While the West features 5 legitimate title contenders, the East essentially runs through Boston and maybe 2 other teams. A LeBron-led Cleveland squad would immediately become a top 3 seed and face far less playoff resistance than anything the West offers.
It ain't gonna be because you're trying to win a championship, because damn it, that ain't happening in the same conference as Shea Butter, Wemby, and the rest, and Ant-Man. It ain't happening.
Those nicknames perfectly capture why this Lakers run is over. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is 25. Wembanyama is 20. Anthony Edwards is 23. These aren't just good players, they're ascending superstars entering their primes while LeBron fights Father Time. The generational torch has already been passed.
LeBron James, even in his 40s, with the New York Knicks. Let me be very, very clear. Hold on, Shay. The money that man would make off the court being associated with Gotham City and the Knick brand. Let me be very clear. KD and Kyrie choosing to go to Brooklyn instead of the New York Knicks cost them hundreds of millions of dollars.
The New York market multiplier is real. Durant and Kyrie left roughly $200 million in endorsement money on the table by choosing Brooklyn over Manhattan. LeBron's business acumen combined with Madison Square Garden's global platform would create unprecedented earning opportunities beyond basketball.
Kyrie and KD would have owned New York. Owned New York. Every endorsement would have came their way. It would have been, oh my God. And LeBron knows what to do with an opportunity like that.
LeBron's already proven he can maximize markets. He turned Cleveland into a global brand and elevated Miami's profile exponentially. In New York, with his media empire and investment portfolio, he'd become the city's biggest sports figure since Derek Jeter. The financial upside would be astronomical.
And last but not least, if he was in the New York Knicks uniform, let me be the first to admit here on national television, any negative things that I have said about that man would go right out the window.
I don't believe that for a second.
I would never utter another negative syllable about that man. I'm not lying.
This admission is both hilarious and refreshingly honest. Most analysts hide their biases, but he's openly acknowledging that putting LeBron in the Knicks uniform would completely flip his coverage. It's exactly the kind of transparent fandom that makes sports media more authentic and entertaining.
If LeBron was on the New York Knicks right now, the New York Knicks would win it all.
It's not.
Definitively.
The Knicks are already a 50-win team with legitimate depth. Adding LeBron to Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, and their defensive system would create an instant championship contender in the weaker Eastern Conference. That claim isn't just Knicks bias. It's mathematically sound given the talent differential.
Listen, here's the bottom line. The Lakers are averaging about over 17. I think 17.7 turnovers per game this postseason, which is the absolute worst in the playoffs.
That turnover rate is a death sentence against Oklahoma City's defense. The Thunder lead the league in steals and deflections, and they're specifically designed to force exactly these mistakes. When you're already undermanned, giving them extra possessions is basketball suicide.
LeBron James, what can we say? There's nothing to say about LeBron James. 41 years of age, 23rd season in the league. He did his job. But he's a one-man show. That's not going to work against the reigning defending NBA champions.
LeBron's averaging 25 points and 8 assists at age 40. Unprecedented longevity. But championship basketball requires 4 quarters of collective execution, not individual brilliance. The Thunder have 7 guys who can guard multiple positions, while the Lakers lean entirely on LeBron's heroics.
LeBron deserves whatever the market will allow. Whatever the market will allow. And I do understand there are restrictions, but I'm just saying for him, I don't ever want to hear he's making $52 million and he gets enough. He's underpaid with what he has meant to the league, with what he has meant to each organization he's been a part of, to what he has meant to each respective city that franchise has resided in, to the local economies.
The economic impact is staggering. Forbes estimates LeBron generates over $500 million annually in combined revenue for his franchises through merchandise, ticket sales, and media rights. His Cleveland championship alone generated an estimated $500 million in local economic activity. He's underpaid at any salary.
Then you're asking me to take less in anticipation of falling anyway because we're not going to be good enough. So I get that part. That's hard for him to take less under those conditions. Everything has to fall in line right. But I will say this.
This captures LeBron's impossible position perfectly. Taking a $20 million pay cut to add 1 role player won't close the gap with teams like Oklahoma City and San Antonio. The Lakers need multiple impact additions, which requires either major trades or LeBron accepting significantly below market value.
Man, when you play the Thunder, you've just got to be... Here's the thing. The Thunder played what? C+ basketball?
C+.
When a championship contender plays C+ basketball and still wins by 18, that tells you everything about the talent disparity. The Thunder shot 43% from the field and had 14 turnovers. Objectively mediocre performance, yet controlled the game from start to finish.
Like, the Thunder shot the ball okay, but Shea, the pathway you got to walk to beat these guys is so narrow. And so 2 things. Number 1, Lakers turned the ball over. And look, it's not that they were sloppy or terrible, like they weren't perfect, but the Thunder try to take it from you. Every move you make, they try to take it from you. They had like 18 turnovers. You can't do it.
Oklahoma City's defensive pressure is relentless and systematic. They don't just force turnovers through individual brilliance, they create them through coordinated team schemes. Against that level of defensive intensity, even careful ball handlers struggle. The Lakers' aging core simply can't match their energy.
You're going to have to play next to flawlessly to beat them one time. The Lakers had a game where the Thunder actually played average basketball, and they let it go through their fingers.
That narrow pathway to victory is exactly the problem. Championship teams impose their will. They don't need perfect execution just to compete. When you're walking on eggshells, hoping everything goes right, you're not a legitimate contender. True champions create their own margins for error.
I don't think the Thunder, I know J.J. Redick said this week it's like one of the great all-time teams. No, it's not. And this is a team last year in the final, then they trailed 2-1 to Denver, had to beat them in a 7th game, and were in big trouble with Indiana, who wasn't a great team, down 2-1, and they may have lost if Halliburton didn't hurt himself in the game 7. So
those playoff struggles highlight why the Thunder's dominance over LA is so concerning. Denver pushed them to 7 games, and Indiana nearly knocked them out despite being undermanned. If those teams could challenge Oklahoma City, the Lakers should at least be competitive, but they're not.
But this is a team that knows how to play defense. They're young. They got depth. Their best player throws the ball around. They share the ball well, and they're very confident. You can sense it. They're very confident when they play this Laker team.
Each of those attributes represents a massive Lakers weakness. Their defense ranks 23rd in the playoffs, their depth is non-existent, and their ball movement is stagnant compared to Oklahoma City's fluid offense. The confidence gap is visible. The Thunder plays like they know they're better.
But here's the problem. He's worth $52 million.
He's worth more than $52 million.
Okay? But the only way for the Lakers to get better and not end up in this exact same spot a year ago is to cut his salary.
The Lakers are already $45 million over the luxury tax threshold with limited tradable assets. Even if LeBron took a massive pay cut, they'd still struggle to add meaningful talent. Their draft capital is depleted and most of their contracts are unmovable. The roster construction problems run deeper than salary.
If you take less money and it helps you, I don't know enough about their cap thing, I'll let Wynn take care of that. But if you take a lot less money, nobody cares 20 years from now, and it gives the Lakers a better chance to win, and he's got more money than God anyway. It's just all about ego. He's got to get paid $60 million because it's an ego thing. How about sitting there and doing what Brady did? Take less.
Tom Brady's pay cuts worked because the Patriots had Bill Belichick's system and consistently smart roster construction. The Lakers don't have that organizational infrastructure. Brady sacrificed money knowing it would be invested wisely. LeBron has no such confidence in Lakers management based on their recent track record.